kick the tires, and light the fires. It's time for 777 Days with Jesus on the Overcomers Wisdom Sessions with the Son of Joy. You are a new creation, a new species, called out of that hopeless darkness of depression to a life of purpose. It is time to hope again.
And then I hear you say,
Remember to comment, like, share, subscribe, partner, and engage during our wisdom sessions. We love interacting with you, and our teams are always available to pray for you and answer your questions.
living with the rhythm of a life that's given to me. Shackled by the past, of failing hard and falling daily. With tears that never dry, but don't remove the pain inside me. So when I lift my eyes and I look into the sky, and I can hear you talking to me, and you say, hey, 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 hey.
Remember to comment, like, share, subscribe, partner, and engage during our wisdom sessions. We love interacting with you, and our teams are always available to pray for you and answer your questions.
777 Days with Jesus on the Overcomers Wisdom Sessions with the Son of Joy.
Come to these Come to these waters, drink from the river of life. Come to me now, don't you know I love you? Drink from these waters, drink from the river of life. A river of life, a river of life, a river.
And 77 Days with Jesus on the Overcomers Wisdom Sessions with the Son of Joy.
A river of life. The sound system was so loud when I went, like woke up everybody in the room. Hey, everybody. Listen, if you're spiritual and you pray a lot and you love the words of Jesus, I'd like you to type the holiest word in all of the universe. Who's it? Oh, boy. I love doing this every day. I have many highlights every day, and this is one of them. Okay, so what does this button do over here? Hi. Not yet. Yeah. Okay, so I'm excited. We've got like evidently 12 hours of OTT today, so I'm loving it. Overcomers testimony time. I told Gunther I want like 3 hours of testimonies to watch every single day. Like, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony, not giving up our own lives. And if you guys want to grow, make it part of your daily discipline to do the OTT. You want to grow. You learn by teaching. You learn by sharing. Testimony is how you overcome. So make sure you participate in the Overcomers Testimony time. Everybody say, I'm the test terminator. I terminate my tests. That's why we that's cool. I am the test terminator. Hey, look at them dropping these whoozits over here. Hey, lucko, man. Absolutely. If you just get into the rhythm, every day you're going to do an OTT, or once a week or whatever. Just get some kind of rhythm. It changes you, man. Ministry. Woo. When you're loving on other people, when you're like helping others, it does amazing things. Anyway, let us get into letter 85 of 777. So listen. We've got up until letter 100, and I don't receive letters as long as I have to do fundraising. So my instructions are, I've got backup plans. In other words, I don't like
sit in the morning and then write a letter or have a dream or an encounter that is specific for me to release a word, because I can't serve God and mammon at the same time. So these things are so special, these letters and the dreams that I read to you every single day, that whenever I have to do fundraising, I make sure that I do not release anything new. I read things to you that were done when I wasn't doing fundraising. So from letter 101, we're most likely going to be doing an entire series on the Pharisee beatdown that Jesus handed out to Pharisees. And then after that, other subjects. But for letters to be released, we have to have somehow planned a month ahead or 10 days or whatever. We don't have to do fundraising. We're feeding people and taking care of families, because my first priority right now until this season, I'm leading the vision for a season during the lockdown, because our 7 can't really be that present. So our leadership can't be that present. So I'm kind of hands-on at the moment, and then after the world has stopped being this crazy, it's a great season shifting their vision. 2020 really is a year of perfect vision, because everyone is really shifting their priorities and shifting their vision. And if you don't get excited about a new vision for your life, a new vision for your ministry, if you can't see that the world is changing, then you're kind of missing what's happening. There's people now, your life could become incredible if you could see what's happening worldwide, the shift that's happening in the world. It's really a time for new thought. Amen. Nice to see you all. There's Twinkie. Hey, Michelle. Okay, so let's hit it. Letter 85 of 777. To the men and women who are as angels, laying down their lives for the generation that is to come. So there's a generation that comes after us. We plant trees, and we might not sit in the shade of those trees, but we are selfless, because that is how we were designed. We were designed to be loving. So if if this is you, if you say, I want to be as an angel, laying down my life for the generation that is to come. Those are two separate things. Angels don't lay down their lives. Angels are messengers. They bring good news. Sometimes they don't bring such good news, but they're messengers from the heart of the throne, the heart of love. And then there's those who lay down their lives for the generation that is to come. It doesn't mean you die. It means that you prioritize your time for people that you haven't met yet. If that's you, you say, that's me. I live for those who can't repay me. And to the generation that is to come, who will be known as the generation who ushered in the greatest awakening, because we are going to raise them right. We're going to raise them to be loving and selfless, not crazy and selfish. Okay. The friendly man and I stand on a battlefield in a desert. The ground is littered with dead and dying people everywhere. There are massive lights and medical tents around us. Ahead of us, where the lights do not reach, there's a blanket of darkness. I can hear people crying out as creatures of the night attack them there. On this side of the light, one medical tent has been taken down and a huge hospital is being built in its place. Okay, so for those of you who got a short attention span and already drifted, what I saw over here was there's this massive place with all these tents in a desert. It's like a mega battlefield. And there's just this war happening in the dark. I can hear people screaming in the dark. There's creatures in the dark that are scuttling and biting and ripping and tearing, and people are crying out. And where the light from that place with all the tents, where it reaches, there's kind of dead and dying people over there, and they are being fetched and brought into these medical tents. On this side of the light, so where there's like a light over here, one medical tent is taken down and a huge hospital is being built in its place. Now troops arrive from the south with huge lighting installations and set them up. So this whole war is against the darkness, and people are putting up these massive light installations. and the new lights power up, the darkness in front of us suddenly disappears. So it goes, tick, 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 boom, and then that darkness disappears. And we suddenly see horrible creatures. They're suddenly scampering away from a lot more wounded and dying people that are in this darkness. Because suddenly there's light, and those creatures can't attack those people anymore. So the creatures run, and then it says doctors and medics run forward to the wounded and dying to tend to them while the troops busy themselves setting up the next lighting installations, tents, and buildings. So as the light advances, the darkness recedes, and we build more infrastructure with permanent lighting. Right, so it's kind of we're advancing into horror. Right, so it says then, I'm shocked when some of the wounded people actually run away from the light and limp back into the darkness. So now the friendly man says, I have sent you to be the light of the world. You have been sent, but first you have been chosen. I choose many, I call many, but few answer the call. Excuse me. You are lights that drive back the darkness, so that freedom may come to the captives and the blind may see. For this is a war between darkness and light, and only light can defeat darkness. The light that is within you is me, which is the spirit of truth and the spirit of love. I am the light that you carry. My words illuminate the darkness. You are children of the light. It must surround you, be within you, and flow from you. If you turn off your light, people suffer. And I want you, everybody write that down. If I turn off my light, people suffer. If I turn off my light, people suffer. That's why being disciplined in your compassion, being disciplined in your consideration, being disciplined in your kindness is so important. Because if we turn off our lights, people suffer. Remember, we weren't created for humiliation, for rejection, for accusation, for pain. That's not our intended purpose. We were created as perfect companions. We were created in the image of love itself. So it's unnatural. All those things are unnatural, and people need love. When you love people, you drive the darkness away around them and often within them, unless they scuttle away from the light within you. So Jesus says, to speak my words in love is to light up the darkness and rescue those who are tortured by the ignorance of darkness. Actually, it's the darkness of ignorance. But I guess the darkness itself produces ignorance again. So it says, my words, to speak my words in love is to light up the darkness and rescue those who are tortured by the darkness of ignorance. Now remember, as spiritual as you'd like to be, and as ethereal as you'd like to make Christianity, and ethereal as you'd like to make what we believe, the spiritual war that we fight is a war for the knowledge of God in our minds, for man to realize what he was created to be, for us to realize that we are walking, living, breathing manifestations of love. So we want to shout, I bind you, Satan, in the name. That doesn't work because it's wrong on both counts. Number one, you can't fight the devil. Not even archangels do that. Jesus didn't even fight the devil. He just said, it is written. That's all he did. He just declared the authority of the word. So number one, don't go fighting the devil. There's no point. Why you want to fight the darkness? All you have to do is switch on the light. It's those stupid horror movies where the guy like runs into the darkness. What are you doing? Go and get a crowbar or a knife or something. Stand in a corner somewhere where there's light so nothing can come at you from the back, and stay in the light, and then stick anything in the face that comes at you from the darkness. What seems to be the problem, officer? Like you don't have to run into the darkness and, I'm going to go and fight the demon. The demon's not going to come in the light. All you have to do is switch on the light. And then the second thing is the term binding means to connect to a belief system, to connect to an understanding, to connect to a philosophy. So when when the term bind and loosen is used in the New Testament, it's in reference to the fact that people would bind themselves to the teachings of a Pharisee, or not in a bad way. It's like not every Pharisee deserves a beatdown, but to their rabbis. They bind themselves to a rabbi, because you've got something called a smicha rabbi, and that rabbi has his interpretation of the Torah, and you've bound yourself to that teaching because your knowledge is what determines your responses to life. You know, so the way your parents raise you, if your dad was terrible towards you, and your mom was terrible towards your dad, or whatever, you know, we had this conversation today, that programs you, teaches you how to respond to things. Now that you're in this darkness because you don't know how to respond in love, so what you're going to produce is more darkness. Now you're producing more people who are getting bitten and wounded and hurt around you. There's an expression that I'm sure we've all heard: hurt people hurt people. You know, now, so the way to fix the thing is to switch on the light and let knowledge heal people. Because I don't believe in emotional healing. I believe in emotional understanding. Because someone who's healed can get hurt very easily again if they lack wisdom. And you can't go back in time and fix what happened to you. All you can do is understand what happened, why it happened, how to stop it from happening again. Knowledge. Again, you're going to write something down. Let's see how you're spelling. Let's see if your spelling is good. It is the omniscience of God that produces the omnipotence of God. It's the fact that he knows everything that produces the fact that he's all-powerful. Good question here from Michelle. Is the goal not to get rid of the darkness completely, or is it a balance thing? Michelle, darkness is only the absence of light. So darkness isn't actually a thing. It's not actually a clear and present danger. It's just the absence of people being who they were created to be. So it is only a danger. It's only an issue when we are being unnatural. How would I, let me give a nice metaphor. Darkness is the equivalent of using a car as a weapon. You know that the purpose of that thing is to get you from A to B, not to drive over people. You see now, we are inherently good. We are created to be good. That's our spirits are inherently wonderful. So it's just a lack of knowing how to be wonderful. So if we aren't trained properly, if we aren't raised properly, if we aren't raised in a healthy environment, then this virus comes in, and we choose wrong. So your free will really is activated by available information. Your decision is based on information at hand. That's why we mustn't be so quick to judge people, because not everybody's had access to the same level of teaching that we have had. There's people who are raised in cultures of incredible violence and nastiness. You know, a child grows up watching his father beat his mother, or the other way around, or the mother screaming and shouting the whole time. They learn certain behaviors, and even a small victory over that is a massive victory. Even a small victory over that darkness, over that unnatural situation. You know that anxiety we feel, that pit in our stomach when someone says something nasty to us, when someone sends me a message and it just says hi, like I wonder what's wrong. Because I've been programmed for years and years and years and years and years that when I get a hi, there's something's gonna go wrong. Or if someone says, I need to speak to you. Anybody else have that programming? It's like, we need to talk. Someone says that. If you tell me, listen, we need to talk, if the first thought that goes through my mind is I want to get this conversation done and then never speak to you again in my life and block you on every communication platform there is, then I have to heal up from that, because I need new information in my relationship with you, because there's darkness in that that situation. You don't know how to communicate, and I don't want to go through horrible confrontation anymore because I've had enough of that.